Hi guys, Byron Embry again here with Pitching 101. Pitchers, I got a question for you. Why are so many power pitchers that throw well above the hitting speed getting behind the count so often? I mean, this is one thing that drives coaches crazy, and it should. I mean, I've heard about it more than any other topic this spring from college coaches. I don't understand it, and your coaches don't really understand it. You know, it's one thing if you're a guy who doesn't throw as hard and you have to pitch on the edge of the plate a little more. But when you throw above the hitting speed, for me it makes no sense. And I was a power pitcher, and yeah, I got behind the count too at times. But it wasn't one of those things where it just continually happened. So today, I want to explain a very simple concept that should allow you to get ahead in the count and stay ahead in the count. By way of introduction, let's talk about this idea of the hitting speed. The hitting speed is a velocity that hitters feel comfortable with. It's a velocity that doesn't require them to do anything different. However, when you get above the hitting speed, that changes. Now, when I say above the hitting speed, I'm talking about a velocity that causes hitters to feel like they have to get the swing started earlier than normal. Well above the hitting speed is when pitchers throw so hard that hitters don't even consider another pitch. Now, due to the rise of velocity across the board, what we've considered to be the hitting speed has changed over the last 10 years. Here's what above the hitting speed looked like in 2004, based on the level of competition. And now, 2014. This is just a radar gun reading, of course, but I'll say this. If 60% of the swings hitters are taking off of your fastball result in foul balls or swings and misses, then you're probably included in this group. Now, I love all the new throwing programs and the strength and conditioning programs that are allowing kids to throw much harder. But here's my question. Are we developing power pitchers or just harder throwers? There is a big difference. Let's take a look at them. Well, first of all, they both throw above the hitting speed. However, the hard thrower doesn't have much of a feel of a secondary pitch, where the power pitcher either has a secondary pitch they can command or a devastating one. Finally, the hard thrower is about 50-50 with the ball-to-strike ratio compared to the power pitcher that is about 40-60 with the ball-strike ratio. Now, granted, hard throwers eventually become power pitchers, but here's the problem. We're seeing power pitchers becoming nothing more than hard throwers. Why? Because we're getting behind on the count. When we fall behind in the count, we go from projectable by the scouts to predictable by the hitters. It's not just getting behind the count that drives coaches crazy, but it's how we fell behind the count that drives everybody crazy. Let's take a look at this. The first thing we have to consider is the count mathematically. If we get 4 balls and 3 strikes to work with, you'd have to agree that when the count is 0-0, we're already ahead in the count. In theory, anyway. If the first pitch is a ball, we're not really behind the count, we're just not ahead. Now we have 3 balls and 3 strikes to work with. Now with the count 1-0, the hitter knows that it's very likely they're going to get a fastball. Okay, I can deal with that. We know the hitter knows that they may get a fastball. So what do? We try to nibble around the plate again, and now we miss ball 2. Since the hitter knew the probability of the pitch being a fastball, he was able to gear up for it, and therefore, what was 95 only acts 93. Now the count's 2-0. The hitter not only knows a fastball is coming, but knows the probable location of the fastball being down the middle of the plate. The 95% probability of the pitch being a fastball, knowing that he's looking for something out of the middle of the plate, and he's seen 2 fastballs already, makes what was 95 look only 90. Though it was a borderline pitch, we can't establish credibility as a strike thrower, and therefore the umpire has to call the pitch a ball, making the count now 3-0. Now with the count being 3-0, he's taking anyway. At least he should, probably. This gives a hitter a free pitch to see and time it without having to swing. Having seen 3 fastballs already, the fastball at 95 only acts 88. And we throw a strike, making the count 3-1. The 3-1 pitch is no different than the 3-0 pitch, only that the hitter can swing. The probability of a pitch being a fastball is about 98%, and knowing what he's looking for is something out of the middle of the plate once again, and he's seen 4 already. What was 95 only acts 86. And he still only fouls it off, making the count 3-2. Now the count's full. The probability of the pitch being a fastball is about 95%, considering a breaking ball is not likely, but still possible with having 2 strikes. Now he has seen 5 fastballs already, and what was 95 acts 84. As a result, he hits a rocket off the wall. Pitchers, you know, I'm one of you. I love you guys and all this stuff, but seriously, this is exactly how outfielders feel like they're at a track meet, running balls down the gap. This is exactly why third basemen feel like they need an L screen or catcher's gear to play third. And you know, guys, I'm really passionate about this stuff. That's why I really want to help. We just threw 6 pitches for him to hit a double off the wall. If he's going to hit a double off the wall, let him do it first pitch. At least you save some pitch count. Right? Here's what we want to be able to do. Now follow me here. With an 0-0 count, throw a first pitch fastball right down the middle of the plate. It's 96. It's not like he's going to square it up. I mean, he might, but if we don't do it and we miss, he's going to square it up later on in the count anyway. Now, with the count being 0-1, the hitter has to consider the strong possibility of a breaking ball coming. A good hitter will forget about the slider and sit on your fastball. Sure enough, he check swings on the slider and moves the count to 1-1. As the count sits 1-1, he's not sure you won't throw it again. However, even counts are good changeup counts. The bottom line here is this. He's not really sure, but must favor the fastball. The fastball catches the top part of the zone, making what was 95 act 97, bringing the pitch to 1-2. Now the count is 1-2. And that nasty slider that he chuck swung on earlier is now public enemy number 1. That's the first thing on his mind. At the pro level, not so much, but in this case, yeah. While thinking about the slider, the fastball in acts 103. Because it's thrown inside, effective velocity, we'll talk about that later, and it's a pitch he's not looking for. The fastball in at a high velocity is a difficult pitch to get to, even if you're looking for it. But what if you're not looking for it? It becomes impossible. And there you go, guys. So let's take these concepts to heart. Let's start pitching ahead in the count, and let's see if their bat speed's good enough to get to it. The greater likelihood of a pitch, the less effective it really is. I'm Byron Embry, and this is Pitching 101.